Hello, welcome to another video. I wanted to take a look at the Russell today, the iShares Russell 2000 ETF. We covered it a while ago. It can sometimes give us some additional insights, or at least we can take a look at it and consider some insights also to better understand what's happening on the S&P and the Nasdaq, for example. Now, this is a chart that, in my view, could have already formed a major top in 2021. But obviously, it's just been moving sideways, which is normal in such a wave 4 correction. So we're just in a major correction. That's the idea because, yeah, we saw a pullback in 3 waves into the 2022 low, a 3-wave move up into the November 2024 high. So we have 3 down, 3 up, and then a potential 5-wave decline in a C wave. And that is a larger 3-wave move. And now we are pushing higher. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, I mean, could this major wave 4 be all of it? Compared to that wave 2? Technically speaking, maybe I find it quite small. And the overall pullback itself, yeah, as I said, it feels quite small. Yeah, of course, it's technically possible, but until I actually see upside follow through, that's not necessarily expected. But in the short term, we are looking for higher, and I will share you what the relevant support levels are. So we could be in a more extended corrective rally here. The idea is we had from the 2002 low a wave 1, a wave 2. This is a very clear 5-wave move in wave 3. So absolutely long term, I'm looking for higher here. The question is, how substantial does this correction get? It does have the potential to be more extended, absolutely. But in a wave 4, that doesn't necessarily mean lower price. It can just mean long-term sideways or even triangle pattern. This would be the long-term or larger degree support area between $92 and $154. So that's technically what would be allowed. Now, from an Elliott Wave point of view, however, we don't want the wave 4 break into the wave 1 price region. So yeah, technically you see that the 50% retracement is just above the, you could say, invalidation point. So that would be invalidation. That means something much deeper, much more bearish is playing out. But honestly, I don't expect it necessarily to reach that level at $86. So we're all dealing with a range-bound movement up here. We can define a range. You could say we have an upper range boundary here at around $223. And lower range boundary at the moment around 162. That's just a local range within this correction. We're just moving up and down in this range. And there is a case, we can make a case for this to be, for example, a B wave rally. After we had A, B, C in wave A, this could be a B wave. So the question is, how can this unfold? Well, we could just spend some time in the range, as you can see here by the labels A, B, C. So it's absolutely possible, and I go to the daily chart. Do we see enough on the daily? Yeah. If I go to the daily chart, I can call it a B wave as A, B, C structure, and we could be possibly even in the late stages of that A wave. I can add a support area to the chart for the B wave pullback, but honestly, there is absolutely no evidence that the B wave pullback has started, so it might still grind higher. This would be a standard support area, but B waves can sometimes be a bit deeper. Just some Fibonacci levels to watch. And to be fair, after such a rally, sometimes we get deep pullbacks, so $176 to $201, but that is of limited use right now because there is absolutely no evidence that the top is in. I'm considering a more directly bullish pathway. So what is, for example, possible? I have to go to the so if we say this B wave could be unfolding in a very direct fashion, that's possible. So it would be this, yeah, and I'll highlight that in yellow. It means we could take a very direct path higher. If I go to the 4-hour chart, we see that. Because what is unfolding here might be, if I zoom in a bit, an A, B, C structure. Like this. And the C wave might be pushing. So the upside momentum we see right now looks like a third wave. So it seems like we should expect a bit more of a third wave rally here to the upside. And again, this move up could be an ending diagonal. So we have to at least prepare for something like an A, B, C in wave 3. So that means some further upside can be expected. And whether this means this is going to be all of the B wave or just a smaller degree end of a correction, we will have to see. I mean, as I said, maybe we're even moving in a triangle. We're basically in a range. We just try to make sense of the movements in the range. Obviously, signal that something has topped would be a break below this dotted line here, because the B wave must not break below the low of the wave 2. So here we talk about $207, and we can also add Fibonacci support. So yeah, this would be Fibonacci support, but this will move also with the price as we go higher, so $210 to $217. So this is how I see at the moment the movements to the upside. Obviously, it could top at any point, but that needs to be confirmed with a break below $210. And then the focus would shift towards the lower support region, which means here, the IWM, there's a very clear pathway for even higher prices, potentially even to the top of the range. Yeah, so what we can also do, before we wrap up the video, we can identify the 100% extension. So we take the length of the A wave, we go to the low of the B wave, and that takes us to the top of the range, $244. So yeah, that's the update on the IWM. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.